soil cultivation. First thing is, this is what you'll be met with, so you have to set up your tools and set up your working area as neatly as possible. Obviously we're working on a raised bed, so it's a bit of an artificial environment. What you have to work on the basis of is the square you're digging, you're surrounded by grass, and you don't want to cover the grass with all this soil because you'll damage the grass. So first things first is create some protection for the ground underneath. You might also want one along the top if you had it, but we don't have it. You then want to set up your working area, so because you don't want to be constantly jumping up and down off the bed, or if it was grass moving backwards and forwards. So you've got a bucket for any rubbish that you find. You need a brush for afterwards for brushing down your tools, so that can be laid to the side. The tools you need: spade and a fork. Making sure that the prongs aren't facing out the way that somebody could trip over, you're facing them in. And you've got your organic matter, your manure, to dig in. So first things first is just have a quick look at the plot that you have to double dig and just remove any weeds or any rocks that you might find that are in the way. Using the spade, remember the health and safety tips. If you're pressing down into the spade, open up your hand so it doesn't jar. Bend your knees instead of your back. And when you're doing this, you're going to dig along a trench here. That trench is going to go to the back, and just you're working backwards. And try and keep it as neat as possible. So first thing is to actually cut into the space that you're going to dig. So just mark it out with your spade so that you can keep a neat line. This will be our first. So it's 1 spade's depth. Lift that up and move this one to the back. And same for this side. Mark out the chunk that you're lifting up and move it to the back. So that's you dug 1 trench that's as deep as the spade. Put your spade back down safely, and now you need to fork over the bottom, and again you're forking to the depth of this bit of your fork, just to turn over the soil. And then grab some of your organic matter and just sprinkle some of the organic matter over the bottom of your trench. Next thing, you then working back to your next trench, same as the first one. You mark the area that you're going to dig over, and this one comes up and over into your front one. This is where it all starts falling in itself because it's a raised bed. It's rubbish. Okay. Then fork over the bottom of your new trench. Really just to loosen up the soil that's underneath the first lot. in along the bottom of your trench, and then you're on to your third trench. And that's where the road is. Last change, just fork over the bottom. Your organic matter, sprinkle some along the bottom. And then the very last thing that you do is fill the last change with what you took out of your first change. Just break up any really large clumps. You don't need to worry about, at this stage, making it particularly neat and tidy. Just so that you're left with a roughly level surface that you're going to do more work on. Last thing you need to do is, with everything else, is tidy up the area you've been working in. So that's double digging. One other thing that you may be asked to do is just straightforward using the fork. It's very similar to double digging. You just work from front to back, but it's not as specific about changes and things. But if you do a row at a time, so it's just work the fork into the ground, bend your knees, turn the soil over, and just break it up a little bit. So it's in, turn it over, and just break up the larger clumps. And you're working backwards. Working. Right, last thing you do for this bit of the programme is just clean off your tools. So you've got a wire brush, just brush it down to get rid of the excess soil. You can use the back to get rid of any bits that aren't coming off. And don't forget about the back. And the tools are just returned where you picked them up from.